Good evening, everybody. This is Douglas, and hanging with the Hooligans. Again, my name is Douglas. God
Yep.
blessed. All right.
Sure
Yeah,
is.
my name is Douglas, and we got Alex
it is.
over across the way from me.
Hello.
And then
Yep.
we got Chuck.
All
Yeah,
right,
I
that's
got
good.
it right this time.
That's a good way of doing it.
This is why we need cameras.
All right, so for the fourth time, that is Douglas. And he was actually just explaining to us a little bit of a memory. You guys aren't getting the full tangent because we weren't recording. But he was talking about a sex wax, which off topic is a surfboard thing.
Yes. So sex wax is used to basically allow you to have grip on your board for when you stand up and stuff like that, or even when you're just laying on it. Like, it really does help with that too. But it basically allows grip on your surfboard. But again, I went to surf camp and I was like 13 at the time and never heard of it. And first time going to surf camp, learning how to surf and shit like that. I'm the oldest in the group, and somebody brings up being like, yeah, and at the end of it, some of you will be able to you'll get your own free sex wax. And I just stood there and looked around, and I was just like, I mean, I don't think I was expressionable at all, because nobody like freaked out or was like, you okay or anything like that. But like, I looked around, I was just like, is that appropriate? What are we talking about? What?
Right.
And then they finally explained. Okay.
Yeah, see, it sounds like a product either for sex or a byproduct of sex.
Yep. Either or. But no, it does smell really good too. That's the funny thing is, like, it's a surfboard wax that smells good. I don't know what to tell you about it, man. Fuck, we were also talking about smelling fucking coins earlier, okay? So shut up. Don't look at me weird, damn it.
We're just enjoying the Doug that we have before us today.
Oh, God. The cross.
Excuse me, by the way, for those that weren't listening, this is Douglas over here.
Fifth time.
What up, jeez?
And just to break it up a little bit, trains. We'll get that out of the way
Trains!
real quick.
Oh,
there we go. Okay.
speaking of trains, I did not ride one when I was in Portland.
Why not?
What?
Yeah.
Dude, they have some of the most easiest accessed ones. Giggity.
Some pretty easy
Get some
to
sex
access
wax
ones.
for that.
But it was also more of a kind of trolley, like not a straight trolley, but yeah, it was more of a trolley that I noticed. When I was out there, we mostly rode buses, and then would ride Uber, which we were probably better off just doing the buses. But it would get too complicated for Jay to want to figure out.
Well, and it also just takes freaking forever. Like, usually what is like a 15-minute drive is 45 minutes because you got to stop at like every third mile.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, it's interesting. So if they don't see anyone there, they just keep going. And if like no one's requesting a stop at that stop, they'll just keep going.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, is like usually someone is requesting every stop, to get off. So when we were on the bus, at least, yeah, it would take a while, but it was nice drive. I don't like Uber. That was the other thing, but it's much quicker. Yeah. It's easy, but it's stressful, especially when we were doing the airport. But yeah.
Yeah, for me it's just the price half the time, man.
Yeah,
maybe it's
there's
just
price hikes.
Yeah, man. Like, when you land in the airport, apparently it's like $40 to get anywhere.
Yep.
Like, you got a hotel within 2 miles of the airport, it's $40.
Yep. And Jay got an Airbnb that was like quite a ways away. When months ago when we were planning it, we were supposed to get something that was like downtown because it made sense. We were going to pay more money for convenience.
Yeah.
But she ended up paying marginally less money, and we were like a little bit out of town. So it was, or not a little bit out of town, a little bit out of the downtown area. So that also sucked. But the Airbnb was actually like decent. The only thing that sucked about the Airbnb was the bed.
Yeah.
They usually are tough. Like, I don't
that
know what it
fucking
is.
bed,
yeah.
dude. Like, I'd be rolling over in the middle of the night, literally groaning in pain.
Wait, the bed or you?
The bed sucked.
And hearing every spring creak, I'm guessing.
No,
That's what I had
No.
at one.
no, it was just it was hurting me.
Oh, okay.
That bed was that hard. Gosh. So, yeah, I went to the Palace City of Books, and it was really cool. I still don't get. So it's because I think two different people have said that it's the oldest bookstore in the world. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. So I think it's the oldest in the country. So that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna stand by oldest bookstore in the country because I'm sitting there like, ain't no way fucking England or like
You know,
Persia or China didn't have a bookstore
that's some
before
fucking
Portland.
American shit right there.
Yeah.
No one checked facts. This is the oldest library in the world.
Yeah, two different people said bookstore.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But in the world?
Yeah, that's what, I was like, I don't think so. Maybe the country. Even
Yeah.
that's kind of a fucking reach because you're telling me New York didn't have a bookstore before Oregon became a state, like, or are you saying like Spanish people went out, settled in Oregon, and they're like, all right, here's a bookstore.
You know what would be really great right here? Some books.
Yeah, whoever the fuck owned Oregon. But what if the Pal City of Books, like, Native Americans are like, yo, we're nomadic, but also right here is a place you guys can get books.
Should we build another mission or? I'm feeling books, guys. I'm feeling books.
Yeah,
Put a library there.
feeling
Call
books.
it a day.
It's not a library. It's a bookstore.
yeah, bookstore.
That's right. That's
'Cause
right.
You can't check out books there that I know of. But yeah, so that was cool.
Did
I
you
mean,
go into it?
Yes, yeah, I got stuff there. Actually, got something. It was, I gotta pick my victim right now. I wanted to do James.
It looks like you're grabbing your nipple.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I sure am.
I'm picking-
Doug, because of your rant earlier. Well, here's your gift.
Ooh.
And also,
Is it a silver coin of some kind? Oh, what is it?
no, it's a tag that says autistic. So they have like tags. Another one, I was sitting there like, I get it. It's supposed to be like either a medical whatever, like to let like disclaimer in a way.
Yeah.
But like it's also like a pride thing. Like, I saw one that had ADHD and I was like, that one's not as funny. The one that made me laugh the hardest and I was like, I'm so evil for this is the one that just straight up said, I have epilepsy. Which I was like,
we're all going to hell.
I was like, I don't know why that's so funny to me. Just like, it must be the old iDubbbz meme of, I have crippling depression, but I just think about it of, I have epilepsy. Which, yeah.
I have osteoporosis.
Yeah, it's like, I think that's why I think it's funny, but just seeing that on a pin, it makes sense, especially if it's like a kid or something. Or like, yeah, the autism one for like a nonverbal kid. For people that fucking don't know how to identify that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or someone who's just like a high-functioning autistic person who's proud of it, because, that's just a fun game to play now, where you're like, this guy's kind of weird. Are they autistic? That's kind of what like the modern someone's gonna be mad in the comments about that. But yeah, it seems like the modern interpretation of autism is like somewhat socially awkward.
Yeah.
To a noticeable degree, and it's like, hey, it's a lot of people.
I mean, when you hear things like it's a spectrum, it's just kind of like, well, I guess there's a pretty big possibility that I might be on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Well,
especially genetics. Your brother, so.
Love you, Porter.
Yeah, Porter.
Yeah, my little brother is high functioning autistic.
Yep. Shout out Porter.
Mm-hmm. A listener, by the way.
Shout out Dakota, because Dakota's probably autistic. Our buddy, because he has a kid that's autistic, and he's like, well, he's the one who actually told me about the thing being like massively genetic. Or I forgot, it's like a higher chance of like, well, same thing with ADHD too.
Oh, yeah.
Which, by the way, all three of us have ADHD, right?
Listen to this podcast. It is evidence of our ADHD.
This just reminded me of something crazy. I was going to ask if James also had ADHD. Too bad he's not here. I assume so. I'll see if I still have this on my phone real quick, so I could actually get the exact statement here. But this is a bit of a mind fuck. By the way, I was still talking about the Portland subject. Sorry, guys, but yeah, go ahead and pop that.
Wait, isn't we? I mean, we were talking about the library, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
I was still telling Portland. Yeah, I was like, "There's proof that we have ADHD." We started from the Palisade books.
Oh, okay. No,
I gave you the autism tag. We went from there. So, it came up in Portland when I was talking to my fiance because, I forgot. She's like, "Well, Portland has like some of the best water in the country, right?" I'm like, "I don't know about that." So we start looking it up, but that's not even the important thing. Who had the best water? Which, by the way, Portland apparently does have some of the best water in the country. I was
Really?
like, okay.
I thought it was Colorado because they had the fluoride water.
That's
there.
what they're known for, man. Their
It is-
water and the oldest fucking bookstore in the world.
And they're hot alt bitches.
And they're hot all Portland?
Did you say hot old
Portland,
bitches
yeah.
or
No,
Okay.
alt.
alt bitches?
That was another thing I
Well,
was
it's
going to
been
get
good,
to.
guys. I think I need to check out
I was
Oregon.
like, you know how most girls have like a basic look, and you're like, oh god, that's so basic. Like, I think in California, we could probably picture a girl with Uggs, maybe a puffy jacket or something like that.
Oof.
some
apparently
Starbucks in hand.
Yeah, the way basic girls look out there are like basically hardcore chicks. They all look like that. I was like, that's so weird. And they have some of the most.
Minnesota's been nice, guys. But...
Yeah, they have some of the most drip too, because like the coats they wear out there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like, dude, these people are so drippy. And Jay was getting all mad, like, what about my outfit? I was like, no, it's different. I was like, this bitch over here is wearing a long coat. Nobody wears a long coat. It's just
When you say long coat, like you mean like trench coat long coat or
no. So a trench coat is cringe, but a long coat is cool.
Trench coats are awesome. What do you mean by it's cringe?
Okay, Columbine.
Damn it, am I cringe?
No, Columbine shooters.
They're
yeah.
Well, I was about to say, man. I mean, he didn't even see alt girls. He just saw actual witches.
Yeah,
Pretty
we
much,
didn't go to
yeah.
Salem, but that was the original plan.
Still,
There's
you gotta be
definitely some
careful out there.
witchy. Yeah, there's definitely
No,
some
just-
witchy chicks out there. So, anyways, yeah, we got to talking
Nah, I love my witchy chicks.
about the worst water in the country, which we looked up, and California hit it. Now, let me read the statement about California. Then we're gonna have a big "oh, that's what it is" moment. So, many of California's rural farming communities are drinking from arsenic and uranium contaminated water systems. Combined with high nitrate levels from agricultural use, the pollution is high enough to potentially cause cancer and developmental issues in children.
Wow.
ADHD, huh? All four of us from California?
I wonder why. Well, fuck
Uranium
me, man.
contaminated water? What the fuck?
Like, were underwater tanks made from uranium? Like, what the fuck?
I was like, huh?
Wow. Wait, no. All right.
I'm actually
All right. I'm putting my tinfoil hat on here. What's the source?
my speech
Jeez
is
Louise.
gone. I've been rendered speechless.
Sorry, I did just screenshot it. So,
Okay.
but it was gosh, it was like a water website, but it wasn't like it was ranking like the worst water. Georgia and Florida were also on there, which is funny because I looked at a different best water site and Florida was on there too. I was like, make up your mind, is it bad? I assume
right?
it's bad. So
It's
yeah,
because one was written in like a city and one was written in the rural area.
I'm still seeing all these dots starting to connect, and it's like, oh
yeah.
boy.
So over 1 million California residents, more than 1 in 10 people in 12 counties received unsafe drinking water. About 1,600 of California's public water systems violated the EPA's water quality standards, and 23 were serious violators.
Oof.
So it's like,
Wait, what? Okay, so we're in California. Does it say
it
where?
doesn't specify. Well, I bet you if I
Okay.
clicked on the highlighted things here,
It'll probably
it'll bring you the sources.
Do I want to know?
Yeah, you can dig deeper.
So is this why I glow in the dark?
Gosh, I was so obsessed with Fallout, I didn't realize I was really,
Really
you were
into
living
it.
in Fallout effect where you drink from the sink and you're getting rads.
How great would that be if we could create something like the Pit Boy? But can you imagine how much fucking resources it would take to get that out in like a worldwide fucking?
It depends what part of the Pip-Boy you want.
Well, I mean, like just kind of the whole function of it, where you can do, in fact, go.
You get like a
into
Geiger counter on
Geiger
your
counter,
smartwatch.
a compass, a flashlight. They could tell you your vitals.
I mean, smartwatches.
I mean, yeah, I guess
close.
smartwatches are pretty close. But...
Think about how much that fucker weighs, though. Like, I mean, for a
Yeah.
while it'd suck.
I mean, looking at the size of it in the show and stuff like that, but just from I would say canon at this point in time, it seems like they made it so it's almost like weightless.
Man, I'm just saying, like you've held a sword before.
Yeah.
2 or 3 pounds feels like a lot after a while.
Yeah.
So having that thing on your arm all day, I mean, sure, yeah, you'd get used to it, but
yeah, that's true. That's why you start them off young in the vaults. You put them on the kids and
Yep.
get
I
them
was
used
about
to
to
it.
say, or even worse, they make it out of light, cheap metal, and that shit fucking breaks.
Right.
Like, you
Right.
run into a door and fucking smash it.
It's made of aluminum foil, half of them.
Yeah.
my Pip-Boy was made of cheap materials.
Yep.
I now have fucking metal poisoning.
Yeah.
Oh, one was made of lead.
Yeah, fucking A. That is heavy as fuck, too, so it would even be lighter. Oh, man. So,
it's aluminum.
Aluminum?
It shakes in the wind.
God, that would be terrible.
Then again, they do use aluminum for airplanes, so.
Okay, now here's the
A
thing.
high-grade aluminum.
Well, yes. But
I
still.
forgot there's a certain word for it, of the, like, treatment and, like, composition of it. It is like a special metal. They also have a special steel that they use, which is also like a high grade.
Yeah, have you heard about it, Doug? It's called blue steel, and it's actually stronger than regular steel.
Why do I feel like I'm being set up to like look at a porn site or something like that, like the lemon
Porn
party
site?
bullshit?
No, he's making a Zoolander reference.
Oh, okay. All right, just
God
making
damn
sure.
it! I wanted to see how far I could take that.
No, I lost it as soon as you said it. Immediately, my mind went to, oh fuck, is this like a lemon party bullshit thing or like blue waffles bullshit?
Oh God.
There was actually, there was a really funny TikTok the other day where a guy was just like, this is really disturbing situation going on between, North Korea and Trump and, it's all taking place in Japan. It's called, I don't remember the name of it, but he had like, it's basically like, I think it's like a kink part in Japan or something. It's basically like bukkake, but not bukkake. It's not something else. But anyways, he was talking about that. I was just like, oh God, that's so funny. He does that all the time, though, where he's just like, yeah, you haven't heard of the situation of so-and-so. If you look that up in Rule 34, it'll come up as... It's amazing what you could find on the internet, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Well, if anyone can tell us that, it's our boy Chuck here.
Yeah,
He sends lots of videos.
There's a lot
Well,
of...
so do I.
Yeah, he does
Yeah,
too.
but
I mean, we're not in a competition, but...
yours are more normal, something you'd see on Facebook. Chuck will send you something that, I mean, just this last episode you heard.
There has been some disturbing ones. I'm
Oh,
just sitting
yes.
there going like, the fuck am I... Oh, yeah, no.
Do it right
no,
now.
don't you dare bring it up. You put that phone down now.
I was actually going to find the last one I sent because I think it was
No.
pretty bad. Or not pretty bad, but... Oh, yeah.
They're not looking right now. Do it.
No, stop.
Wait, that's not...
That's not it.
No, that's not it, yeah. Oh, did we lose the video?
Probably.
we
I
did.
mean, like, I'm
He's
surprised.
taken down for being too uncomfortable.
No,
Right.
it's... So, I mean, I still gotta get to this last point. But it's this phenomenon on Instagram mostly, where someone will be... So, imagine you posted a video, you made a joke, and you're like, I feel good, this is pretty funny. And then you find out someone did a duet, or Stitch did, or whatever. There's so many different terms for, like, when someone takes your video and does something with it.
Yeah.
But instead of doing any... Instead of, like, what normally it happens, or people do dumb things, like, point at it, like, I agree with this guy, or, maybe say their own point, they just pause the video, like, while you were talking, and then transition it to them drawing you. Like they drew you but ugly, and they're like, or whatever features they're making fun of, like if they were gonna make fun of like.
They do like
they make your eyes bulgier, or fucking,
Why'd you look at me when you said that?
Well, I'm looking at you as the example. They make your eyes bulgier, they make your forehead huge, and so they just make you super insecure.
So I go get my caricature.
Yeah, well, but imagine you just post it. No, you post a video. You don't even know that you didn't ask this guy to draw a picture
just
of you.
stitches it.
Yeah, they're just like,
boom.
It just fucking did it. So that was the last thing I sent was this guy who was like, oh yeah, go up to a woman and be like, are you used to approaching charming, dangerous men? And then they're like, just like the video stops and his hairline's all high and his fucking chin's all little and stuff. And they were just making fun of his face. I'm like, damn. Nightmare scenario if you just, ever getting preachy on TikTok or something. Next thing you know, you see a viral video of someone being like, I redrew him, but ugly.
I love that. I think that's fun.
It is funny. I'd laugh so hard if I found out someone did that to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess to finish the Portland rant, so I also had a fucking shooting scare.
Oh?
Yes. So, we were walking, I forget where. We were just checking out random coffee shops and stuff the whole weekend, just going to different places. But we're going down the street and we hear bang, bang, and there's someone in front of us and they're like, someone's shooting, and they start running, and people start freaking out. And they're like, you could hear them reloading, and I was like, I don't know, because like I've heard people do road work and it kind of sounds the same way, where it's like almost like jackhammering but slow, like a big slam. So I was like, I don't know, but the moment happened where it's like, well, I'm not gonna fucking wait to find out. So me and Jay literally take off running with two women and this guy, the guy who said it was happening, and we ran a block down, and I'm looking for a building to run in immediately because we're out on the city streets. And we passed by like several, like probably 5 doors that are locked, and then finally this one place is open, and it's a Mexican restaurant. So I go in there, I let them know someone's shooting outside. They're like, what? And so Jay's right behind me. I'm already fucking cutting into the back of their building. I was about to go to the bathroom and be like, lock us, like me and Jay in there. But Jay was like, no, everyone's in the kitchen. So we go in the kitchen and we're talking. And yeah, after like 20 minutes of like hysterical, what the fuck is going on? And also just like checking outside because it doesn't look like anyone else is running. We're like, all right, I guess we'll just go back outside. We saw cop cars start to drive around too. So maybe they're in the investigating the sound.
Yeah.
But we didn't hear anything about that day there being a shooting. Once we looked into it, we found out there was a shooting the night before while we were out. So we never had 2 shooting scares, but one we were aware of. The other one we weren't. We were like a block away or whatever. So, yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things, too. You can't just be like, oh, cities, whatever, because it can happen anywhere,
Yeah.
We know what country we live in, so it's just about being ready. And, yeah, it was one of those things where I learned, like, okay, I could definitely, like, go to do a plan. But, yeah, Jay was worried I was going to leave her behind because I was in front of her. I was like, well, it's because I'm trying to find somewhere for us to hide. Like, otherwise, if I'm behind you, I can't,
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if I'm going to need to, like, push you in front of me or something. But, yeah. It was, crazy moment for the trip. The rest of it was good, though.
Mm-hmm. What were we out there for?
Just visiting, just checking it out.
Nice.
A lot of cool stuff. A really creative city, I noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of creatives out there. I liked that vibe. It seems like everyone's doing stuff all the time, too. That was cool. I was like, yeah, Minnesota ain't like that.
Mm-mm.
Minnesota needs to be more like that, but there's just an energy. There's like we have like a homebody energy as a state for the most part.
Well, when the temperature gets so low, you might die. You tend to become inside bodies, or at least inside a tent fishing.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, the people that do go out, it's like, oh, we got to go to the lake. Right now, people are hunting.
Yep.
You know, good luck, hunters. Also, fuck you guys who were last minute yesterday.
Yeah. like here's the thing. I ain't got nothing against people from out of state coming in and visiting and stuff, because I really don't care. But yesterday was the one day I was just like, God damn, all these out of staters, what the fuck?
Oh,
well,
wait,
because you'd have to register like
Yeah.
them for like their firearms and shit like that, and their deer hunting tags. And like I said, I don't care about the hunting. I think it's cool and all that shit, but God damn it if you're out of state, because like then I have to fucking type in your social security and try to figure out your shit through your driver's license.
See, good thing there's
I had
another
to
gas
fucking
station.
call the hotline.
Yeah. The
They're
good thing there's
stupid.
another guy who works at a gas station who knows. But it wasn't even necessarily that like it was difficult. It's just more so like, oh great, there's a bunch of people that want fucking food and shit.
Well, yeah,
and I'm
that
over
too.
here
Like,
typing this shit
the
up.
The whole line.
Yeah.
I try. Like I said, I don't. I like people. I really, as much as I might bitch about people, as much as I might bitch about their habits and what they do and stuff like that, I love people.
Well, let's be clear. There's a lot of shitty people out there too.
Yes, there are. Absolutely,
Yeah, so
there are. We talk about them all the fucking time.
Yeah, your feelings are warranted. Is what I'm.
And we'll get there.
But can't you do this ahead of time, man? Like, it's not like you just woke up today and went like, you know what sounds like a good fucking idea? Going across a border and going hunting. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, call the DNR like a week ahead and be like, hey, yo, where's a good place to do it? Don't do it at fucking 10 o'clock at fucking night at a gas station.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wasn't working at 10 o'clock. It was a lot earlier. But,
I mean, here's the thing. It went until fucking 10 o'clock, man.
It went until midnight, yeah. People did it till the absolute last minute, according to my overnight coworker. But,
this is coming from a last minute or two. Like, I do everything fucking last minute, and I hate myself for it. So, I wish you would. No, just kidding.
Yeah. I was like, I'm usually pretty bad when it comes to, like, deadlines like that. But when it came to voting, I was early.
See, I want to do that with my voting, but fucking A, man. Like, I got to call somebody and then fill out a form and mail it in.
Just because where I live, where I registered, they basically just sent me the ballot. They're like, all right, fuck it. Vote.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, if you're just outside town, they're like, yep, nope, no problem. We'll send it on out.
They're like, yeah. So I voted for my mayor.
Are you across the railroad tracks? Nope, you just gotta walk right on in.
Yeah. Oh no, I just mailed it. And the only thing that was annoying was the whole like, I need to have a witness, which is why I used James as a witness.
Yeah.
Which is even like a loophole. I literally was taking pictures, showing you guys the stuff where I actually did the exact like, what do you call it? Instructions of what the voting thing was, but just through my phone, and I didn't even see those instructions until I got to the end of it. So I was like, oh, well, these people really are a witness. So yeah, had James sign it, did my vote, did my part for the James Seville 1A movement, and also did my part to hopefully re-elect my neighbor Judy as mayor. I don't know. I don't think it matters, but
did you not find out about that one?
My neighbor, I don't know if she won or not, but I was like, hey, I voted for her. But yeah, that's it on the me early voting. I guess we might as well get to the part where it sucks James isn't here for us to celebrate. But yeah, he ran and he didn't win, but he got almost 25% of the vote, which is pretty decent.
Oh yeah, totally. No, like kind of looking at the progress from like, I think when he first ran, I want to say in 2020, because I think he did 2020, 2022, and then this time around 2024. But yeah, looking at it, I think he's making this time, I don't think it was super incremental. I think he said it was like 0.04% like increment or something like that. But it's an increase. Like, legit, like, that's just, like, one more person that was like, oh, you know what? He sounds like a good candidate for this area,
Right.
Or, as I would like to say, somebody that understood the system and is like, oh, yeah, you know what? Maybe somebody more local as opposed to somebody supported by, like, 8 packs.
I mean, it's crazy as you look at the amount of signs that he had in town, which there were plenty.
It was nice. It was really cool to see that.
And of course, we know we're approaching the big moment of talking about it, but you know, uh, you really looking around town thinking, there's a lot more people than I thought who would be supporting James and Harris, Walls, and vote yes and all that.
Well, I mean, for me, honestly, it made me a little more like at ease in this town, if that makes sense. Because moving into town, legit, it was just seeing, because Trumpers don't fucking take their shit down. Their shit's year round for some fucking reason. Like
Yep.
apparently they're a exception to the rule, or I mean, I know it's a cult.
No, they're just fucking annoying. They have no personality.
uh, but like it kind of relaxed me, because it's like, okay, good. I'm not the only one in the boat that's trying to find something better than what the fuck we've been like modus operandiing for the last fucking. I mean, fucking A, dude. Like here's the thing. I can't give Biden too much shit.
If you think about everything that's happened, it has been almost 10 years of this.
Yeah.
So.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Like it was like halfway through Obama's last term that when everything just started going like, shit, nothing's moving, and we're still not fucking moving. Or if we are, it's towards just more like beating the shit out of you for trying to protest. Like,
well,
you know what I mean? Like,
we're gonna be feeling this shit for another 8 years. Like I realize the term is 4, but the effects of whatever happens during this time are gonna be felt
if you're
the next time,
smart
too.
and you learned, and I don't mean you, like I'm not condescending to you, but I'm saying if you're smart and you realize like the effects of someone else's fucking presidency is more felt in the next person's presidency than anything. Look at Bush's legacy during Obama's fucking term, and Obama's legacy during Trump's term, and then Trump's legacy during Biden's term. You look at it and it's like, oh yeah, all the things that Trump or Biden had been working hard for, and his administration was working hard for, trying to stabilize the economy and all that. Trump got all the credit because he was fucking elected by the time, like,
things started turning around.
Yeah, things were like, starting to get there, which I remember.
Okay, well, so I think what I keep hearing is that like Trump inherited a really good economy from Obama, because Obama's first 4 years was trying to just fix what the fuck he inherited from Bush.
Yeah.
And at the same time basically fending off the frickin' Republicans, because they were at every single which corner trying to fuck him over.
You could literally say it was 8 years of fixing everything that's been fucked, because it started, because he was elected in 2008.
Yep.
It started, like, a huge crash started when he was
right as soon as
elected.
he took office, yeah.
So, even that, which wasn't, like, necessarily, you can't blame Bush for the 2008 recession. In fact, there's actual people behind it that are fucking shitty, like, stock market guys and stuff like that. But it is one of those things where you have to look at, like, the government as a whole, and, like, the work that the Obama administration had been taking to work on the economy. And even before Trump was in office, there were moments of like victory happening. I remember like my mom was really stoked because Obama did something that made like that really helped gas prices go down or something like that. But then something else happened and gas prices like went right back up. And I remember her talking about that, which is crazy because now, she's a lot more conservative. And I think that's because there's a lot of people who have such a limited view of things when it comes to the economy. I mean, even some of our friends, some of our close friends who in 2020 were protesting, against conservative like agendas and stuff, were making excuses where like, well, some people are just more, some people just think it's more important to have affordable living than human rights. And it's like, well, you don't realize it's not affordable living if you're advocating for yourself to, screw over ourselves in like overtime pay and shit. Because a thing we didn't get to talk about in detail, and it was on the topic list, and we never addressed it on the podcast fully, which is Project 2025. Which there's so many bad things, but the one thing I look at is you look at all these fucking, Sigma grind set fucking douchebags, and it's like, hey, overtime's about to go away because they want to change the way that it fucking works from a 40-hour-a-week situation to a 160-hour-a-month situation, where it's like you don't get overtime until you work more than 160 hours, basically. Which is fucking stupid.
So basically, like, you would have to grind what you're already doing and hope that by the time the last 4 weeks comes around, you start getting paid time and a half?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, okay, sorry, of the 4 weeks that your last week, your fourth week, you're going to hope that it gets time and a half.
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing. They could work you fucking 80 hours 1 week. And then, 60 hours week 2. And then week 3 and 4, 40 hours. And hey, no overtime pay for any of those extra hours.
Okay, hold on. I just want to confirm. You said
can
180
suck my
hours a
fucking
week?
dick.
160 hours a month.
160 hours a month. Okay.
So that means, yeah, you could work, like I said,
That's...
Boss Man can make you work 80 hours week 1, no overtime. Week 2, fuck it, 60 hours. Week 3, you're almost there to that 160, and then they cut it off before it gets to that.
Well, yeah, because, okay, so if I'm doing the calculations correct, that's still basically 40 hours a week. So basically, if you were to have your 40 hours a week, you'd get 0 overtime.
Yes.
But now, if your boss were to work you 80 hours in that first week, 80 hours in the second week, and then not work you for those next 2 weeks, you basically just worked a shit ton for nothing.
Yes, you're getting it, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
for less money.
Well, yeah, and yeah, that's just it. Like from what I understanding, if it does go through, so say he does work you those 80 hours those first 2 weeks, but then he also gives you 40 hours that third week and then 40 hours the next week. So then you have 80 hours of quote overtime. Is that time and a half, or is that just going to be quote not taxed? So basically, he could just pay you your wage. And
so
then it's
technically.
Like, I'm confused by, like, what the fuck do you mean by it's not taxed, or...
So what the conservatives were told is that your overtime shouldn't be taxed anymore. So that means, yeah, sure, if you make it over the 160 mark, those 80 hours you got after the first 80 we were talking about, your next 2 weeks, those should be tax-free overtime pay, time and a half.
Great, so you're not going to hit that ever. So I'm not going to let you.
Yeah. Well, great. You're not going to hit that ever. Most people fucking die before working 2 80-hour weeks in a row.
Look, I have conservative friends. I have conservative family. If you are listening to this and you are conservative, for the love of God, this is something that we really need to pass on people. This is not going to help us. This isn't going to help anybody but the people that have the money to begin with.
Mm-hmm. And this is also... And this is a whole agenda. There's a lot worse things in Project 2025. I'm just saying this is the stuff that fucking, even the Joe Schmo will care about.
Yeah.
Versus all the pregnancy bullshit and trans rape bullshit.
Well, the
all that
separation
stuff,
of church and state that may be now threatened as well.
Yeah. All
because
that stuff.
J.D. Vance meeting with fucking church groups that want that.
Yeah. All that stuff that, like, most people will excuse because they don't know a trans person, or they don't care about a woman's body, a woman's rights and stuff like that. Whatever. Because you're an asshole. You already don't care about these people. Mm-hmm. But you're fucking yourself over with the overtime thing. And there's a lot more stuff. You're fucking yourself over. You're only benefiting the employer. You're only benefiting the people that are richer than you, that you guys call the elite. You guys talk shit about people in Hollywood all the time. Elite this, Justin Bieber's evil that. You just fucking advocated for all these people. But, like, also, by the way, they only care when it's Hollywood. They don't care when it's fucking, like, executives at Coca-Cola or whatever.
Yep.
That's what I hate when they talk about global elite, and it's always like, why is it only Jewish bankers in Hollywood you guys talk about, not Elon Musk?
Sweet Mary and Joseph. And, like, here's the thing, like, I think the big issue, too,
Trump.
is that this...
Trump, yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Holy fuck,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No, here's the thing.
But this billionaire is gonna turn it around.
Just as we could tie lots of our economic bullshit back to Reagan, we could tie a lot of our antitrust of, like, the journalists, the not trust of our like systems of government that we've set up for a long time. Like all of it comes down to literally just fucking Trump. And I'm not saying that in a good fashion. You know what I mean? Like I'm saying that in that.
I think he makes it mainstream, but there's a much bigger figure who has been driving government distrust than him, and that's obviously Alex Jones.
Oh yeah, no, he's been spewing that shit since the 90s.
Yeah, he's been big on that. Rush Limbaugh's been another guy.
Yep. Basically, if they had a mic, that was this thing. And I find Trump to be... honestly, he's riding on the coattails of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he just comes back in on that tail, you know, being like, oh, yeah, it's because he's got, like... Excuse me. He's got, like, the mainstream fucking, like... appeals. For some fucking reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the suit. It's literally just the suit. You take the suit away from him, he's his
piece
of shit.
It's his don't give a fuck attitude. Like if anybody had that same attitude, and like I've said in a previous episode about his charisma and stuff, if anyone else had that, it's funny because like a lot of people would be like, oh, he's so brash, he's so this and so that, and a lot of people do say that about Trump, but there's a lot of people that are into that. Which is funny, though, because they're only into that because he's also saying the stuff they agree with. Now, if Joe Biden, for example, had the exact same attitude as Trump, all the Trumpers would fucking hate Joe Biden and be like, oh, God, he's so arrogant, so this, so that.
Well, yeah, here's the thing.
If he's just like, shut up, Jack, you know?
It's stupid because they, as soon as... fucking A.
And this is still, like, if you think about the theory of, well, shouldn't really be saying theory, more so the way fascism comes about in our country. The scary thing is, like, a lot of people do the whole exaggeration of, like, Trump's Hitler. Technically, no, Trump is setting up Hitler. It's Trump's going to finish his second term, and whoever the fuck comes after him is more than likely, especially if you look at the fact that it's actually going to be around the time Hitler came up a century ago. You know, the people that are birthed from this coming presidency are going to be the real Nazis. Not that there aren't already real Nazis in our government right now. But, like, you know, when people keep talking about this fascism that we've had to, you know, we have to defeat in the, you know, voting polls or the ballots and all that, it's what's going to be birthed from this next presidency. If not, I mean, we might already be looking at it in someone like J.D. Vance.
Well, I think we've already seen it, because if you look at the polls, like the exit polls that came from this election, and mind you, okay, here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and give them, like, MAGA assholes this. They can, you know, this is only just one poll that I saw. There you go, you assholes. It's the one poll I saw. It's the exit polls. You could be like, oh, what's the source? Fuck it, dude. Just Google it. It's like the one poll everybody's fucking using for everything.
They don't care about sources. They just go by their feelings anyways.
Yeah. Anyways, like the exit polls are showing,
while telling you to check your sources.
Well, yeah. Well, basically, the exit polls showed that like of like the age ranges, like males between the ages of like I think it was like 18 and 25 were ones that were like most likely voting for fucking Trump. You know what I mean? And I'm just sitting here going like, cool. So they, you know, he's already got an idolized fucking like little brown coats out there that aren't wearing brown coats. You know, like, and here's the thing. I'm trying my best not to be like super like, alarmist or like, you know, anxious about this, but like tell me where's the signs that this isn't happening? You know? Show me the signs where, like, if Trump doesn't get into the hospital tomorrow, his illness doesn't get immediately blamed on some minority group or the Democrats, who are basically just his entire half opposite of the country, and then his little brown shirts come out with their little unregulated AR-15s that were made from 3D fucking printers. You know, like, it's...
I'm still too American to be against the, you know, illegal guns being printed. That's still sick.
No. Here's the thing. I do think that's sick as fuck. But here's also the thing.
It's
I
terrifying
believe,
in the context you're saying, I get it. But I was like,
well,
yeah, it's still cool.
and it's not it's. There's an actual company that makes AR rifles and made a child-sized one of them, you know?
Jesus.
You don't even have to have a fucking 3D printer to make your own child-sized fucking rifle anymore.
Yeah.
Thank God for capitalism.
Jeez, the fucking Taliban had to fucking have their kids fucking just be a man and fucking learn to hold
an AK-47, fucking, disgusting. The fucking world is disgusting.
Yeah.
It's... I feel like I hear this all the time, but it just feels like idiocracy.
It is.
I actually, I was saying that 10 years ago thinking I was fucking interesting, and now it's the most fucking boring, obvious fucking thing to say ever. Yeah. I'm not saying that to insult you, by the way. I'm just saying that when I see people post that me all the time, it's like, where have you been in the past 10 years, dude?
2018 wants its meme back.
Yeah, not even 2018, because, like, you could have looked at the way people were acting.
I would say 16.
Yeah. Even before Trump was exactly elected, like, you were just looking at the absurdity of the Obama... Dude, we're so far from the Obama administration, and I think I will be... By the way, we're not there yet, but I will be bashing on libs really hard in this episode. But there was a lot of absurdities in the Obama administration that seem fucking normal. Milk toast now. You know? That... just by comparison of everything we've experienced in the past 10 years, more than 10 years now, 12 years. So, I remember saying that back then. It was like 2012, 2013. Also looking at, the core of idiocracy isn't even like just the political part. It is the phenomenon, essentially, the theory that, like, dumb people have kids, smart people don't. Because smart people want to be ready to have kids. Dumb people just make kids and just do it,
Dysgenics.
Yeah, dysgenics. It's a thing that I'm like, it's just so real to me. Or, you can look around Thief River.
Man, after hearing the water thing, I don't know how much I can say.
Hey, that's their fault for drinking the tap water, not their fault for having kids. But, no, I was about to say, well, I guess it is kind of mean because James has 3 kids, but that.
There's also been a lot of inbreeding this part of the country, in Minnesota especially, from what I understand.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that because it's hard to tell if that's true or if that's just, hey, here's dumb small town people being made fun of.
I realize I have a big head, but that's because I drank fucking well water. I come out here and I see these heads, these 4 heads specifically.
You mean 5 heads?
It's like my hair has receded a little bit, guys.
No, they have high. They have high hairlines and are definitely balding. That is just a regular Scandinavian thing. Cope Scandinavians.
Is it a Scandinavian thing?
There's also the extra fingers and toes. I'm just kidding. But
damn.
I mean, if you meet a person that's Scandinavian, most likely their hairline's bad. Just,
Fair.
That's how I knew Aaron was lying, because his hairline's not that bad. But
our little 2%.
No, 3%.
3% milk. 3% milk.
Yeah, so, I mean, we have shitted a lot on conservatives.
Now let's
all right,
shit on
gear
libs.
up, you fucking pussies. Here we go.
Are you ready, kids?
I knew this was going to happen, too.
Yeah.
Because, like, I didn't... Well, here's the annoying thing. First, I'll say my piece on, like, why I tried to toe the line of not being a guy to go against be like, oh, I hate Democrats, because I do. I hate the Democrat Party. I don't hate every single Democrat.
No.
Like, I love AOC. I love Ilhan Omar. Mama Gretsch. There's plenty of people that are out there doing good things. Even Tom Fetterman, who's not
Our
all good.
very own James Seville.
Are you
is
talking?
trying.
Are you talking Fetterman from Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
He
He's out there
I
doing-
got very mixed emotions.
He's got some. He was out there doing some grassroots shit at one point where I'm like, cool. He also says dumb, heinous things. Like I think you were recently, regarding the whole Israel thing.
Yep.
But we're about to get there. That's about to be a very big part of this subject.
Yep.
Which it's one of those things I often try to stay quiet about because I've seen people lose their jobs from talking about this. I mean, people have lost their fucking roles in acting in movies because of talking about that stuff.
Well, at this point in time, you could probably get fired for fucking anything because there's no fucking worker protections, and that's going to improve over the next 4 years.
Right. Don't worry, I won't fire you guys.
So,
I love you guys too much.
Right.
Love you too. So here's the thing, though. I was not when Biden stepped down. I was like, cool. You put up as VP. Who the fuck cares? But I wanted to be hopeful. I didn't want to, especially we have two DFL Democrats on the podcast, and they're telling us, well, she's put forward some good stuff. You listen to her speeches, listen to the rallies when she spoke at, and tell me what good policy she put forward.
I concur on that one because whenever I do hear some stuff. Whenever I hear the clips and stuff, it's lots of inspirational. We're going to do this. We
got to protect women's rights.
It's the same thing that Trump does, except on the polar kind of opposite end. But also in the end is that she was very wishy-washy. She didn't actually take a stance on anything that meant anything to. Literally anybody on the left side of not the middle.
Yeah. What you said, I agree with completely.
I think Biden also waited too long.
Well, yeah, no, I concur. He shouldn't have even started running. He should have been thank you, Democrat, national, the Democratic National Convention. But I'm not going to be running. Mm-hmm. Find somebody else. And I'm not saying Kamala Harris was a bad choice or anything like that. I freaking loved her. I thought she would have been a good choice. I have my issues. No, I have a shit ton of issues.
I was like, I'll get there. But
in the end, I would have taken her over Trump any fucking day, any universe.
Yeah.
At this point in time, my brain is doing fucking backflips trying to go hey man, chill the fuck out. It's half of it saying the numbers aren't numbering, and the other half's telling me dude, that sounds like conspiracy theory shit. I'm trying to, but he should not have said, I'm going to try and run again for a second term. He should have been you know what? I am going to sit down because I am old as fuck. And my constituents say I'm old as fuck. According to, here's the thing. I can't even sit here and go, according to these 3 polls, I can't even say that. All I know is that from what I have felt among myself, among my friends, from chat groups, from reading the news, everybody was pointing to him and going, you're fucking old.
Well, here's the more important thing. Who wanted him in the first place?
Nobody.
Yeah.
I wanted Bernie. If you were going to put another old fuck in there, give me fucking Bernie.
In 2020, a bunch of people were pissed off about COVID. A bunch of people were pissed off about police brutality and the death of George Floyd. And they said, this is all because of Trump. We want Trump gone. And, of course, yes, Bernie had backing. I mean, we were looking at Andrew Yang, me and Alex personally.
Yeah, same. Yep. I looked at Yang, too, because I was like, you know what? I don't think Bernie's going to be able to make it.
Yeah.
At the very least, it was something new.
But
yes.
But, I'll get back to those guys. Yeah. But people settled for Biden because they're like, we need to beat Trump. We need to get Trump out. We're like, hey. And I already knew back then because I was saying, really, they're just doing the whole vote blue no matter who.
Yeah!
But this guy's not the right guy. I was saying that the whole time. Yep. And, of course, your typical libs are getting mad, oh,
You need to be careful. You just might give it to Trump because you didn't vote or that you didn't, toe the line.
And it's the same thing, when I was pushing on the campaign promises thing and James defended him for, little things. Still checking back on that. There's still a lot of stuff that hasn't been done. He has a month.
I had
So-
lost hope when I think he just got into office, and the first thing that came up in like all the news sources was there was a strike about to happen between
The railroads?
the railroads.
Yep.
And this just came right after. I think did two of them happen or did one happen?
I think
The
there's
strike got settled and then another one fucking happened. Because I think that's how it happened.
Yeah.
I think it was disaster. The strike got broken up by fucking Biden, and then another disaster happened.
Hey, where was AOC supporting the fucking, the workers? That's why, people are talking about. I'll get there. So back to what I was saying about the 2020 thing. People did it out of desperation. And everyone said, stick to the plan. We're getting Biden in, but we don't want Biden. We want them to put someone forward better. And so the DNC gave us this bullshit answer. They're like, oh, look, it's Biden again. We have to beat Trump. We have to. You don't want Trump, do you? And after Biden looked bad during the debates, then they finally were like, hey, you got to go. Hey, look, we're gonna put Biden's VP in.
Well, here's the worst fucking part of it all.
Yeah.
They were like, we're gonna get Biden up there, and they tried to meme the fuck out of him with Dark Brandon bullshit.
Yeah,
know.
Dark Brandon was a good meme.
It was. I will give them that, but that's not what you're supposed to fucking do.
Yeah, like a year ago, by the time they were doing the debates, nah, dude, it's over. The Dark Brandon memes passed. Dark
Brandon should have came out in fucking 2020, not fucking 2024.
Yeah, well, Dark Brandon was a thing, I think, 2022. There was just a moment of that, but yeah, they tried to bring it back.
Yeah, that's true, because it was midterms, and they had to have some form of thing to be like, yeah, if Biden endorses this fucker.
It's because somebody doing the lightings fucking did it red and evil, and so they were making the Dark Brandon.
That whole thing. I'm just sitting here going like, are we seriously talking about this bullshit?
Yeah, I mean, it looks sick,
here's the thing.
though.
I wish I could take them fucking seriously.
Yeah,
I wish I fucking could. But he's an old fucking man here's the thing. The one thing I love about fucking Biden is that he tried to be a legit fucking president. He tried to stick to the terms of separation of the executive, the judicial, and the fucking legislative. But the issue is that the last person that was in the executive, and dare I say Obama too, fucking broke that with the executive order. The executive order is basically the get out of jail free card for I want to do this and fuck you, legislative branch.
Yeah.
And Supreme Court, come for me, fuckers.
That's
and now instead of it being come for me, both of you guys, now it's just fuck you, legislative branch.
So the biggest problem with Biden, I think, is he tried to toe the two-party balance too much when. We just got off a regime that was absolutely fuck the other party. We're forwarding our agenda. And that's actually the problem with fucking Dems in general. And that's because the truth is Dems are just blue Republicans for the most part. All these older people.
Seriously, man.
Where, they just want to toe the party line. They don't ever get anything done. And people recognize this. So, fast forward to them putting Kamala Harris forward. She doesn't put anything forward, really. She said, oh, we just got to beat Trump. Oh, we got to defend women's rights. Oh, things are hopeful. Blah, blah, blah. Joy was her buzzword. Okay, what about that actually has policy in it?
And Joy could have probably worked if she had as much time as Obama had with his Hope campaign.
Well, Obama had a lot more. Obama had substance in his Hope campaign.
Yeah.
He actually talked about things he was driving on the Medicare thing.
Well, and that's the thing. He focused on one thing. It was we're going to do this.
He had policy there.
Yep.
She did not.
No, she sat there kind of flabbergasting, going how am I going to get to the moderates?
Yeah.
How am I going to achieve the moderates and the fucking Republicans that are unsure about fucking
Fuck
Trump?
the moderates. You needed to get the progressives on your side who didn't want to side with you guys as you guys stood idly by while fucking genocide happens across the globe. People are wondering, and now I'll just get back to the policy thing in a second, but people are wondering where 10,000 or whatever, 10 million, not 10,000, 10 million, all these Democrats votes for the Democrats went. Well, 4 years ago, those were people that were fed up with, the regime that they were under. What?
I thought 20 million didn't show up.
I don't know. Millions of people.
No, this.
Those are millions of people that were fed up with Trump at the time.
Yeah.
Those are people. Those are the same people who said, "Hey, you're not withholding. Holding up your side of the bargain." Because they wanted things like college. Well, fuck. What do you call it? Debt forgiveness. You know, they wanted police reform. They wanted, they definitely don't want a genocide in fucking Gaza,
Right?
Palestine. So many things that they don't want kids in cages. That's still a fucking thing. Just no one talks about it anymore.
And that's what sucks the most, man, is I'm sitting here going we still have issues underneath the Trump administration, but it's just being swept under the fucking rug.
Mm-hmm.
Just like apparently every fucking thing in America, from Enron fucking crashing everything, from fucking banks crashing everything. We're just gonna go ahead and bail them out and sweep it under the rug. And how the fuck did we end up with this inflation? How did we end up with all these fucking issues with housing? How come anybody can't afford housing? I just don't understand it.
Yeah, ongoing thing that has not been addressed in decades. No, the biggest thing is, all these people, they were not Democrats, they were not libs, they were not fucking people that were like, hey, I'm gonna play this party game because Trump has to win. It was like, hey, we're doing this because we want this guy out and we want change. Do your part, otherwise we're not gonna vote for you. And a lot of people said that. A lot of people, and the DNC didn't hold their side of the bargain. They
Correct.
didn't give anyone anything interest. Again, now I'm gonna round back to the policy thing. The reason Bernie had fucking people supporting him is he talked about Medicare for all. That's something you can get behind and go, hey, I like that idea. We should go for that. And as well as some other things. He's weak in a lot of other sectors, just like Andrew Yang, who he had UBI, and a lot of people got behind that. Weak in a lot of other sectors.
Yeah.
But Kamala Harris had nothing. Even worse, she's around the most recent rallies and speeches. She was like, I'm basically just Joe Biden. Don't fucking say that. We didn't want him. That's why you are here. That's why you're the fucking candidate. We didn't want Joe Biden. So be different. Be something. But the most annoying thing that comes from this is seeing all these people. And, I wish James was here because it was his statement that I was actually addressing on Facebook, where he commented on one of our mutual friends' posts about being just shocked that so many people didn't vote for Kamala, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know if we'll ever have a woman president at this point." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? This has nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman, because the people that are missing from the election aren't fucking people that were like, oh yeah, I would have voted for Biden, but now it's a woman, so fuck that." No, it's people that have said, oh, I would have voted for the Dems, but they're not any fucking better than the conservatives, and I'm not going to do any, any more research into why they're marginally better than conservatives, because that's really the truth. They're marginally better than conservatives, but, a lot of people don't see that. So, it has nothing to do with fucking her gender. The people that care about her gender were probably never going to vote for her anyways, and are probably already conservative.
Yep.
Yep. So that's the way I looked at that, and I got so annoyed because that's the sentiment of what annoying moderates and liberals are going about, are blaming all the progressive people, all the people that said, hey, I'm not going to fucking vote for you if you don't hold your side of the bargain, and they're saying, well, this is your fault that Trump won. No, it's not. It is the fault of the DNC. It is the fault of the Democratic Party as a whole for thinking that they could just offer shit again and again, and people are just going to keep taking it.
I honestly believe they felt like they could just lean on... Because here's the thing, I get trying to make things interesting, because don't get me wrong, I was stoked when the DNC had their conference and everything, and they had all those pop stars and shit there.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking awesome! It was a good fucking show! But that's not what we need right now, man. We're not a bunch of fucking idiots that are just here for, circus and fucking bread. Here's the thing, they're giving us the fucking circus, but I ain't getting no fucking bread. Mm-hmm.
Again, policy. I thought the DNC was sick and went really well, but I wasn't very enthused with Kamala's speech at that. I thought Michelle Obama did great. I thought Tim Walz did great.
Yeah.
But, I think Walsey himself had more of an agenda because he's known as being the trans rights guy.
Yep.
You know, and
yeah. Oh shit. Did Kamala choose Tim Walz because he actually stood on something, and she just like didn't stand on anything really?
To be honest, I don't know why the fuck they chose Tim Walz. I don't know what the DNC were thinking just in general with their choice. I just know they never want someone too progressive to be up at the top.
Honestly, both VP picks were very out of left fucking field for me.
Yeah, because even Tim Walz is still not very progressive, but he was still much better. He's like a very normie fucking guy.
Yeah, to me,
better than a white nationalist.
Here's the thing. He's a person that I could see going to the bar with, even if we didn't agree on whatever we were talking about, we could still drink and have a good time. JD Vance, on the other hand, he'd get very quiet as soon as I disagreed with him, and I'd be sitting there going like, well, I guess I'm going to leave, and then I'd be walking around with a knife from then on around him because, who knows
what he's
going to...
ask, like, hey, you're not going to check any of these facts, are you?
Yeah.
You know what? No, you're right.
That's our vice
You're right.
president.
He would shut up as soon as I brought out my cell phone and started Googling and being like,
JD
how do you
Vance
spell
is
that?
gonna get shit on so much for the next 4 years because he has no fucking charisma. As I've already said in the previous episode, he is just such a shit goblin. Like, just what a goblin. And I don't think Donald Trump is strong by any means, but he's someone that actually does much better in the media than fucking someone like JD Vance. And I can't believe that they got such a fucking gross fucking purge head ass fucking. He's a lot more of like the mask off version of what these people are. Is JD Vance. Trump is the very
I don't know what I'm saying,
you're
I'm making
racist
jokes.
Yeah, he makes people laugh. He just says, sexist things, chauvinistic things that are basically just very, very normalized, by the way. That's the reason, I think most people don't read between the lines with what he's saying. It's just very, normal, just dumb, look at this dumb broad, kind of attitude. So, yeah. But JD Vance, on the other hand, is just so weird, dude.
Oh, yeah, nah, weird as fuck.
Yeah, and Trump's a little weird. Trump fans are the weirdest, though.
Oh yeah. Nah, his fan base is the weirdest fucking thing I've ever. Seen.
There's such an odd obsession with they have with their hit, people they hate with the people they love. It's like why do you feel the need to illustrate Trump as a big buff man? That's gay as hell, dude.
And then my other thing
they're gonna put him on a bear here pretty soon. It's gonna be great. Nice oil painting.
Oh, that's definitely already existed.
Oh well, just to match his bestie Putin's.
Yeah, no, they definitely got that. There's a old meme page. I bet you it got fucking removed a long time ago, and there's probably like an 8th version of it by now. The God Emperor Trump memes. This was in 2018.
No.
Where it'd just be like. This is why I hated Warhammers, because I saw the God Emperor Trump memes, and I remember that guy ended up switching over to being a Yang fan for a while, so he was doing the same thing about, Yang, where he was just making get the bag memes, but then every now and then he'd sneak some fucking Nazi shit in there.
Jeez.
About I don't like minorities and stuff. Stuff that is very normalized sense of humor now. Like I said about the whole Instagram thing in many episodes ago now, where they just snuck in, they sneak in these little dog whistles, and you have to sit there and be like, is this just South Park level humor, or is this an actual Nazi? Because you can't tell anymore.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not saying South Park sense of humor is Nazis. It's just that Nazis go by that kind of humor because they see how someone can do racist humor correctly.
Yes.
They think they're being edgy when really they're just being stupid.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's the reason South Park is funny, and the reason it makes sense is because it's in the context of South Park. Mm-hmm. It's a cartoon that is supposed to be edgy, going after everybody sort of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
when somebody just comes out of the pocket, and as my dad liked to say, you don't say this in mixed company. You know,
Yeah.
um, like it's pretty much that, you know, like you don't just come out saying like Nazi shit like that
Well,
and
you
trying to be
shouldn't
like,
be
yeah,
try-
I'm playing it off as a joke. Da 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 da.
You
Like,
shouldn't be getting your values from Comedy
It's-
Central or South Park.
yeah,
Or Joe Rogan.
yeah,
Yeah. And that's, I mean, that's actually, I think a good way of saying what Doug said is like the, you know, the way they try to sneak these jokes. It's like, oh yeah, it's a joke if you're offended by it, but if you agree with it, yeah, no, I mean it too. You know,
right.
that's kind of what they're
Yeah,
doing.
no.
Yeah.
If you're offended by it, it was a joke. If you liked it, then welcome, brother.
Yeah.
And I'm a South Park fan. I know you like South Park. Doug, I don't know if you like South Park.
Love South
Then-
Park.
Yeah.
Dude, are you
Yeah.
kidding? I love South Park, Family Guy, Rick and Morty. Like, I love all the fucking, like, cringy fucking shows everybody's, like, you know, edgelording around, you know?
Mhm.
But at the same time, I'm able to look at that shit and take it for what it is.
Well, you're supposed
And
to
if I
see
draw
through the
meaning
fucking
from
lines.
it, I draw the meaning of the fucking episode. It's not like
Yeah.
I'm just, oh, yeah, you know, Rick is right all the fucking time about fucking everything. No, he's a tragic fucking character, and that's what you're supposed to take him as.
Yeah.
When he's sitting on the throne among a bunch of fucking other Rickies taking a shit, like getting cheered on for it, you know?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be like, God, I wish I was like Rick at this point in time. You're supposed to look at him and go, oh my God, I pity the fool.
That's yeah, that episode that you're describing also is the perfect like visual representation of what it's like when you get too deep into a Facebook argument.
Yes!
And the person just stops talking to you. Like, that's why whenever like I never get deep into Facebook arguments anymore, because I know I'm doing that to people all the time, where they think they're like, oh man, I can't wait to get this response on this, and I just cut it off. Like, all right, I did my like 3 responses. You think you cooked here, but nope. But,
Like I said, I love those shows. I think they're fucking hilarious because
Yes,
they
yeah.
say a message, they have a story. And in the context, absolutely fucking hilarious. But then if you try to bring that shit out, and that's just it. Like, people ruin it by trying to tie in dog whistles and historic fucking shit to it. Because history is not really all that fun. History is supposed to be learned by. You're supposed to look at it and go, can I build upon it? And can I make some good out of it? You're not supposed to look at it and go, you know what? I want to reproduce that. I mean, by the gods, are we going to go back to like having like what amendment are we at right now? 27 amendments in the Constitution. Are we going to have the 28th be what is it? Where you got rid of alcohol? What is that called?
exhibition,
What?
prohibition.
Prohibition. Are we going to go back to
They're gonna
prohibition again and then like unlegalize it again? Like, holy fucking shit, dude. Let's just go back to that, all right? Let's have some more fucking Al Capones out there, everybody. Like, holy fucking shit. How far back are we going to go? How far back do we want to go until it's great again, everybody, huh? Like, what the fuck?
When was it ever really great?
It wasn't! We've been improving up to this point. And it's up to this point that we've been like, hey, you know what? Let's all get together and communicate through these magnificent things called microphones, phones, the fucking internet. And what did we fucking do? We fucking further divided ourselves. We went, my bullshit view is better than your bullshit fucking view. Instead of going, can we help you? We go, are you worth being helped?
Except in our case, our views are better than yours, listener. Just letting you know.
Yeah, our views are magnificent.
Yeah.
Goddamn right.
Oh man. Yeah. It was. What's annoying too is so we have the term dog whistle. What the conservatives have terms for is like DEI or go woke. Where, you know, it's funny, like when the way we're talking about how someone puts like a racist, you know, a racist, or puts like some racism in like a sense of humor, where it's like, I'm going to say something I actually believe, but like it's, I'm going to present it as a joke kind of thing, like we were just talking about. I love how like conservatives and right-of-ways, all sorts of fucking, you know, people that are crybabies. about to get back to these people, which I've shitted on many times. Kind of go on about the new buzzword lately is DEI, where I guess that's like there used to be another term for this. Diversity hires, essentially.
Oh yeah, no, diversity hires. Yep.
Yeah, where they talk about this in like video games and stuff like that. But it's so funny because like you don't even know what you're talking about when you say this shit most of the times, guys. But they'll just say that because like the latest one is Dragon Age. Dragon Age has a non-binary character. And like it has sex options. You know, you can choose to be non-binary if you want. And they're just like, oh, they tried to sneak this woke shit in there. It's like, no, it's a fantasy game. You should be able to fucking be what you want to be, even if what you want to be is a non-binary character.
You're not an actual dwarf, you fuck.
Yeah. I think
like, let these people fucking be who they want to be in their imagination world.
Yeah.
They can't. If you're not gonna let them do it in their real lives, let them do it when they're on their off time.
But the most annoying thing is like this character that they're bitching about is a Canary, which is like a, you know, how do you?
Not human.
It's a very first of all, not human, but demonoid, almost like a tiefling, but no, tieflings
are
like
okay.
Tieflings are like
they're supposed to be related to dragons.
Tieflings are like very like
that's the
femme-pilled in my mind.
Yeah,
they're
no, very sucky bussy, sucky body. Yeah,
Canary are not like this. Canary has huge fucking muscles. They're like taller. Like even if you make your character like
basically
as tall as possible, this character's like still taller than yours unless you're a Canary too. But
has horns and shit.
Yeah, has horns and stuff. It's really awkward. And I think what also people like. Oh well, I'll get to that. What the valid complaints. But no, they're complaining because this character is non-binary, and they're like, oh, my mother says I act more like a man. Well, you are a giant fucking horned fucking masculine warrior race creature. Like, you're gonna, you know, the character's gonna be a little weird like this, which they really do have like a storyline in this character kind of like discovering a part of themselves about like who they are and stuff, and you as the player character can kind of like support them or not, I guess. I don't think there's not many.
You mean you could be their parent?
And I mean,
well, in a way, you just kind of go like, "Hey, you be what you want," you know? Because that's kind of the way I'm like. I've played it so far. I'm not even doing like the super like, well, how do you feel about it? I've been just kind of like shoving it off, like, well, it doesn't matter. Like, you are who you are. Like, just figure it out, you know?
Well, I mean, and by the way, in my opinion, so far the most interesting companion on your team.
Oh yeah, all the companions suck.
I haven't played it yet, so I can't say anything. But
I mean, okay, so most companions in the second game sucked, but the companions, and I haven't played Inquisition, so I'm not going there. But the companions in this game fucking just suck so bad. Like as soon as I got all of them, I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, is this really it? There's no like. First of all, where's the male dwarf? There's a female dwarf. I don't care about her. Give me a guy who's dwarfy. She's just too normal. And that's the valid complaint about this. The people are going on about this like non-binary character and oh, they're putting this stuff. Oh, sorry. This is a real experience that like there's a thing that people experience when, you know, someone puts somebody that's fucking poor in your story. You don't go like, "Oh, this is classist revisionism inputted into my story," you know, kind of stuff. You know, so why are you complaining every time someone puts a fucking gay person? Like, these people exist. Of course they're going to be in your fantasy world.
Can you imagine how dull stories would be if there weren't, like, any poor backgrounds?
Yeah, this is Bob. He digs coal, and that's all he does. He's on your team now.
There's so many layers to, like, different qualities of people and stuff. So for you to just complain just because someone happens to be gay, which is not a huge part of that game unless you choose to make it that, you know, huge. Which I don't even know if that character's gay because like they make it obvious right away that they like you, and like my character's a dude. So, but it's just one of those things. Like, hey, why do you care? If you hate this so much, like to be so rattled over the most minor thing like that pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing I will say is valid, though, is that there's, like, So I know some people have a complaint about fantasy. We're veering out of politics into nerd stuff now. Where
which kind of political in itself.
yeah, it's still semi-political, but this is more nerdy. So a lot of people will complain like, "Oh, I'm so tired of fantasy always being Eurocentric and like everyone's got British accents." Sure, that's because all the most popular stuff is kind of that. And that's because like I don't know, a lot of theater stuff has been English people.
Well, sorry, they fucking sound cool. Like,
Well, not just that, but like, yeah, I don't think George Lucas meant to have a bunch of fucking English and Australian actors do the characters.
Yeah.
But, hey, that's just what
It
a lot
was
of
what
old
was
movies.
cheapest at the time.
Well, I think it's also like those were the classically trained people.
Yep. So, one thing I wanted to bring up was I was watching TikTok and I saw this person stitch somebody else doing like the entire fake outrage with the transgender thing.
Oh yeah.
Because he was basically playing the game and he's like, wait, so it's forcing me to be a trans person? Why can't I just choose male or female? It's got all these other options and it's got this scale. And the person that was stitching, she's like, just press the back button. Press the back button. You just gotta press the back button and you'll go back to the selection.
Yeah, it's like, hey, just choose he, him if that's what you want to
Yeah! Like, what the fuck?
it's so fucking dumb. Like, I mean, if you're bitching just because you got to character creation, you saw they them as an option.
Dude, crying about more options is so funny to me because it's like, yo, sure, you don't care about the gender thing, but you should just be happy that they're adding more options because there's more you could do with it.
You should be glad they didn't put it behind a DLC.
Well,
Yeah.
at the very least, even if it is part of the fucking story, fuck. It's something that's a little more interesting you don't normally see, right?
But the people complaining are probably the people that are always like, yes, I will play male, human, Caucasian. You know,
Okay.
that's every single.
Stop
character
calling
they
me
make.
out, damn it!
See, nah, you're I'm not talking about you, but that couldn't be me. I'll make some random characters. Actually, Outer Worlds is the first time I made a trans character because I was like, I could be a woman with a mustache. Hold on,
Bro, I'll spend like an hour in character creation.
yeah,
Oh, see,
I
not
love
me.
that shit.
I get ADHD so bad, I just sit there going like, all right, come on, preset,
Yeah.
preset.
So
Come on, look like Jason
that's
Statham.
so when people add these options, though, sometimes you'll be like, hey, so I'm gonna make a character that's not me, and sometimes you're just like, hey, I'm gonna make a basic whatever character.
Yeah.
You know, Uh, those options are supposed to exist, you know. But these people cry about that, and then we'll turn around and be like, you know, talk about how milquetoast like game design is, and it's like, yeah, but they actually did something that was different, and if anything, again, oh yeah, I didn't even finish the complaint. The valid thing that I was gonna say is that so you know how everyone complains, oh. English people, Eurocentric fantasy, and all that. Oh, we're so tired of it. Well, Dragon Age has very modern, casual talking characters,
Yes.
which doesn't completely fit the world.
No.
So for the character that everyone's talking about complaining, the Canary, she is so casual, just like, hey, you know.
That's what I liked. I was like, okay.
It works because because it makes them an individual.
Mm-hmm.
But when you realize they all kind of talk very casually and stuff, they're not, you know. And I'm not saying like, oh, they talk casually as in they don't have an accent. I'm just saying they talk like very modern people.
Yeah.
It kind of pulls you out of it a little bit, especially when like you remember the first game. You're like Morrigan, very like traditional English, you know. But also Varric, who's in the second game. Casual talking guy.
Well, he's
so it's
in the
always
last.
existed in there. It's
He's
just
in the last 3 games.
yeah. He's always been a casual talking guy, but now it's like all of them are that. Now there's no one who talks.
Everybody talks like
fantasy.
Varric now.
Yeah, like even the Canaries, the casual, you know.
Well,
Also-
and I love the Canaries too because weren't they more like a stone-faced, like
Well, yeah,
straight
when-
talker? Yeah,
in
I
the
loved
first
that.
game, it was very much
And
everything
Tosh is-
contained.
Yes, Tasha's the same way, just in a more awkward way than stoic. And that's kind of like the bit that makes it interesting. It's like, oh, she's the same as them, but not like, hello, I am Canary. She's like, hey,
Well, I feel like if you
Yeah,
drop
blue
something
fire.
passive aggressive at her or something, or at them, my bad, that you'd still. I fucking lost my point because I corrected myself. But yeah, it's gone.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah. Well.
Oh well, I mean, it was all. She's. You could tell that character is kind of the character where it's like you could drop like a passive aggressive insult and just like, okay,
Yeah.
all right, whatever,
Doesn't
man.
care. Almost raven-pilled in a way,
Yeah,
but also like almost just autistic in the social ineptitude kind of way,
yeah,
which makes sense for a Canary because they're not. I mean, Sten in the first game didn't understand genuine human concepts sometimes.
yeah.
So the way they said that, the way he explained it, he almost talked like he could almost be like not dwarf, an orc or something, trying to figure out how humans work.
The culture at that point, from what I'm remembering correctly, and from what I actually just listened to today, it's she's different because her mom took her away from that.
Their whole people,
thing.
their whole people separated because like there was the people that separated in two that were like worse than than Sten, for example.
Yeah,
And then there's the people that separated from the people in two, which is Tosh and her family.
well, we actually got a little. Well, I saw a little more about Sten today, which was really interesting. But
Yeah, and he's not normal by any means because
No.
they fucking exiled him in the first place.
yep,
Yeah,
and he also he doesn't have horns like the rest of his people. He just doesn't have horns.
yeah, that was a whole thing that like I don't think you see any more Canary in that game. And it's just they're like, yes, Canari's a big guy. Okay, cool. In the second game, they're like, oh, now they're Hellboy basically. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, getting off the point of what I was saying. It's funny how like you have this new thing though where we talk about racist dog whistles and like humor and a bunch of stuff, and they the people our age or younger are complaining about woke stuff being in media when it comes to like, hey, gay people exist. We're sneaking that in there, I guess. Hey, governments are bad.
We're sneaking that in too. Apparently.
Religions are corrupt. Yeah, stuff that they're sneaking all this woke stuff in there, and it's like this is stuff that's been there. The most in-your-face thing I could think of when it comes to like games usually is like if they're trying to make it a part of the narrative where they're like, oh, look how racist this body of government is to this minority group. It's like, okay, we know. Yes, we know black people are treated like this. Like, I get that. Something like that where they're really trying to make you, like, live that experience because usually it's so out of touch, that it's not compelling. That's actually a complaint I've read from a lot of like people of color. They're like, stop trying to like tell our experience in your stories.
Oh, okay.
It's so out of touch. So, and it's funny because like I've looked at that myself, being like, yeah, I guess like when they do go like, oh look, the gnomes are being beaten up by the humans, and they're treating the gnomes like slaves or something. It's like, yeah, I guess it probably is a little offensive as a black person to be like, we're not fucking gnomes, dude. What the don't turn our experience into
fantasies.
Yeah, no, fantasy thing where the people that are being segregated are gnomes. So I get that now. That especially putting it in that terms like that. But sometimes when people are saying it's woke, it's like, oh no, there's a church that's corrupt or something, like a religious, like the Imperium.
Imagine that.
Yeah, it's like, no, that's just something that everyone likes ripping off history in their stories. Guess what? That's a historically accurate thing. Of course you're gonna have like zealots and stuff. And also, I love how people. Actually, no, people do complain about wokeness in Warhammer.
Yeah.
Which is really funny because it's like that's the whole concept. It's like complaining about wokeness in Fallout, which we won't get back into because we already talked about Fallout today.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Anything else you guys got going on?
No, I was
I'm
actually
just-
looking at the time, and I was just
Yeah.
going to say, if you guys wanted to round up, I could go ahead and take us out.
I'm just disappointed.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
True.
same.
I
No.
just.
Yeah, there was
It is what it is. I'm not gonna be the snowflake they think we are, but it is
Well,
what
and
it is.
it's not even like snow. I mean, it's just as much as a snowflake as they were back in 2020. But except this time around, like, we're not gonna go fucking like raid the House of Congress. Like,
Yeah.
Mm.
I
Unless-
do ask again. Do you think QAnon is a little disappointed they didn't get to treason the other day?
no.
No?
It's our turn.
It's
it's our turn. It's our turn now.
And that's been hanging on.
All right. Well, yeah. No. With that, everybody, with that extreme message there. Thank you all for coming by.
I was
This
kidding,
has been
YouTube.
Hanging with the Hooligans. My name is Doug.
I'm Alex.
I'm Chuck. I don't have anything new, like I said in the other episode. I don't even know if that's out yet, but yeah.
Yep. Check down inside of the
Maybe there will be something by the time this episode comes out. We'll see.
yeah, check those details. We might have something down below in regards to links and the like.
And James, we are very proud of you, buddy. We love you.
Yep. Love you, man.